What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to your daily silver stacking video. Thank you for tuning in. If you want the newest, latest, freshest, most up-to-date, recent information in the world of precious metals, I got y'all. Make sure you're subscribed. And also, if you want an opportunity to win some silver, click subscribe and go in the description. That's the entry video. If you want to enter, good luck, everyone. May the luckiest stacker win. Now, things are crazy right now. Interesting, to say the least. Very weird, very skeptical. And not only that, it just doesn't make sense. But we're going to talk about all that. I have 3 different articles we're going to go into, and I'm going to talk about why I say it doesn't make sense. And I would love for you all to participate and let me know what you think in the comments. So after you like the video, comment down below what you think about this. Make sure you watch the entire video first, because if you just watch the first half, you're probably going to miss a lot of context of what I mean, especially as we go into the last article, and you're just going to, if you try to debate what I'm saying, it's just not going to fit right. So anyways, we're looking at the silver price forecast for the beginning of this video, just looking at what's happening with the technicals, right? Looking at what's happening behind the scenes. So, silver markets have fallen a bit during the course of the trading session on Thursday to reach down towards the $23 level. And this is an area that has caused a little bit of support as of late. And the fact that we have bounced to turn around and form a bit of a hammer suggests that we could make a play to the upside. So on the other hand, if we were to break down below the $23 level, this could open up a much deeper move to the downside to test the bottom of the candlestick from last Tuesday. And I've seen, and I think some of this is going to go into it, we're talking about it could move as low as $20. And that's if everything keeps going downwards. We see this waterfall effect. I'll show you right here. So let's go to like the 3-month. So you see how it goes. You know, this was around $28 silver, right? Everything's going really good, and then it drops off, right? Stuff right here, probably dollar index, a lot of stuff, fear, uncertainty, doubt. So it's a sell-off. And then you see it plateaus. The markets try to gain strength, stability, and then situation happens, sell-off. And you just see as it gets worse and worse, these drops are going to get bigger and people panic to a much greater degree, which is causing more panic selling, which means it's going to be harder for prices to stabilize, especially with what's going on with the dollar index right now. That's why I made a video yesterday telling people, stop panic selling. Use this as an opportunity to buy, right? There's no reason. And the worst part is most people that are panic selling are the newer stackers that bought in at $30. So they bought in at $30 during the Wall Street silver, train, hopped on board, and now they're getting off with a $7 per ounce loss. I mean, that's just a terrible situation. But anyways, that's just a little context from looking at behind the scenes. But the market has, of course, recently formed a bit of a death cross at the 50-day EMA, and this plunged below the 200-day EMA. The quote-unquote death cross is, of course, a very negative sign for longer-term traders, and therefore it makes quite a bit of sense that we could see more negativity and also more selling. So at this point, it looks as if we are trying to find a bit of a floor near the $23 level, but whether or not it holds for the longer term is still a very important point to pay attention to. Now, what does he mean by quote-unquote longer term? This could mean a year. This could mean 2 years. I couldn't see it going past a year, though. When we're looking at 5, 10, 15 years, so much could happen. Look how much has happened in the last 2 years with, this crisis. In 2 years, look at what's happened. Silver went from $11 in March of 2020, nearly $30 less than a year later. I mean, if we're looking at how much is happening at such a dramatic pace and looking at also what silver is is made of, pun intended, when we're looking at the industrial sector of these 5G towers, these electric vehicles, all this stuff that silver is needed for, plus the shortage. I mean, in 5 years, markets could flip. I mean, even in a year, we could see markets flip upside down and silver just take on a whole new life of its own, which is also going into why I'm saying this doesn't make sense. I still haven't really gone into that yet. We're just talking about why silver's price is acting the way it is right now. But this video is going to get a lot more interesting, to say the least. So let's look at this. So in general, if the market was to break down below the massive sell-off we had recently, then it is more than likely going to open up and move down to the $20 level. So do you think that's going to happen? I mean, it's a possibility, and if it does, you best know that I'm buying all the silver in the world, and as everyone else is too. I mean, if we're talking about a silver shortage, I think that would capitalize on it. Yes, people are selling, but then there's also the other side of the coin where people are buying all the silver that people are selling. So let's look at the silver price prediction. No shine in the horizon, and here's why. So there's two different articles that we're going to be comparing and contrasting, and it's from the exact same site. This one was written 2 days ago, and this one was written 1 day ago. So you can see both of these articles are fresh off the press. The first one is talking about why silver has no shine on the horizon. The second one is talking about why gold is going to be bullish, moving from $1,789 to almost, $1,840. So since now you get a little bit of the idea of what we're comparing, let's look into this. Silver price is under pressure after the July FOMC meeting. Minutes showed that the U.S. Central Bank is preparing to taper its asset purchases later in the year. However, the policymakers stipulated that the tapering should not be viewed as a sign of imminent interest rate hikes. With reference to raising rates, the committee members held the option that employment is yet to make a substantial progress required by the Fed. As a reaction to the minutes, the dollar index surged to its highest level since November 2020 at 93.5, while it has since pulled back to its current level, 93.39. The surge is weighing on silver. So right now, every time the FOMC comes out, when it's looking like there is some type of hope, there is some type of faith in the recovery or in the dollar, obviously that's bearish for silver. But a lot of it is still speculation. People are just kind of going off what they think the FOMC is going to say, Federal Chairman Jerome Powell, what they think he's going to say, and that could affect the prices. It's almost like this false market. But anyways, let's look at the technical outlook. We kind of already went into this, I guess, but it does talk about something right here that I wanted to mention, the psychological level of $23. And I like the psychological level, because when we're looking at prices, psychological level means it's what people, yes, there's the technicals, yes, there's the numbers that don't lie, but how people perceive things is also just as important. Just like with the dollar, if people perceive the dollar has faith and strength, it literally does. And if silver breaks above $30, that psychological $30 level, it'll probably hit, $40, $50. If it breaks below that psychological level of 23, it could go down to 20, right? There's psychological levels. Just like if silver breaks through $50, it would skyrocket. That's what they mean by these levels of, it's not necessarily so much of a literal term in the charts. It's just a level that if it breaks through, people will panic or become very bullish from. So we saw the first stuff with silver, right? Now let's look at gold, why gold's actually going to be bullish while silver is going to be bearish. So gold price picked up some new demand on Friday after the Dallas Fed President Robert Kaplan said that the decision to start tapering the quantitative easing program would be a distinct process from the decision on interest rates. Kaplan also said he expected the GDP to grow 6.5% in 2021, but that the Delta variant of this situation needed close monitoring. He also indicated that if the Delta variant started to affect demand or show signs of persistence, the Fed would adjust its policy views. These comments cooled off demand on the greenback and allowed gold price to rise by 0.37%. So, as you can see, pretty much the same thing is happening, but silver and gold are acting differently. Silver and gold are acting differently. Silver dropping while gold is actually gaining some momentum from the same situation. And remember when I always talk about silver taking on a life of its own, that could also work for the worse. Gold is a monetary metal, strictly solely a monetary metal, so it moves with whatever the dollar is doing. When gold is directly pegged to how good the economy is doing. If the dollar index is down, gold is up, vice versa. Solely because gold doesn't have any type of industrial benefits like silver does. So silver, yes, it moves just like gold, but to a more dramatic, more extreme extent. And it's also an industrial metal. But right now, what's affecting the price of precious metals has nothing to do with the industrial sector and solely just the dollar index. So you can see how gold might hold on a little more than silver would, especially since silver is such a more risky version of gold. And that's why they call it the devil's metal. So it is interesting. I would think if silver is going to be dropping right now, especially with all this, you would see gold dropping more, but it's actually not affecting gold as much. It's just an interesting thing, and we might actually be seeing the first signs of silver taking on a life of its own. Now, yes, right now it might not be for the best, but I do see as we advance into this new technological digital era, silver will start to take on a life of its own in a positive light. So anyways, I'm just curious what you think this all means. You can see the chart for gold right here. You could see this huge candlestick. You could see the bounce. See the stability goes up, plateaus, bounce. And then you see a lot right here, which is still sitting at a pretty good pace going upwards. It's just interesting to see how much different things are right now. And if this would have been happening a couple years ago, you would not see the same type of markets. You would not see the chart looking like this, right? This chart would not look like this a couple of years ago. Times are changing, markets are changing, and people, how they invest is also changing as well. So we have to learn how to adjust and adapt. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found this video educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. And if you've watched this far into the video, kudos to you. I can tell you're a very good stacker. You probably have a very good strategy in place because you didn't click off the video thinking you know everything. You didn't click off the video just saying, whatever. You paid attention and you wanted to get as much information as possible, and that shows a lot about your character, and that I'm sure translates into a lot of other areas of your strategy and in your life. So if you've stuck around this long in the video, props to you, my friend. Keep stacking. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Make sure you subscribe if you want a chance to win some free silver. Entry videos in the description. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.